Hello everyone, and welcome back to Munch Media, where today, myself, Joe, will be joined by Arran.
Don't do that.
Hi.
Oh dear. Everyone's
That's
ears.
a horrible noise for people to hear right away. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
And also joining us, Ralph, who hopefully doesn't make another horrible noise.
Ooh, my beer exploded. Shit.
Definitely a nicer noise.
Foamy innocent gun.
But... innocent gun. I hear that every time you say it.
Oh yeah, innocent gun.
I hear it every time he says it.
Sponsored by
it's what I've been calling it for months.
Today we're going to be doing like a super chill podcast.
It tastes off. I think this is an off
What,
innocent
beer?
gun, yeah.
Oh, it's an off podcast, so it suits. Because yeah, we're barely gonna edit this one. We're just gonna sort of like, click on our
On our desks,
web
we're going to make
browsers.
noises that you shouldn't be heard. Noises I normally...
Yeah, we're just
No,
chilling, and
please
we're just
don't do
gonna
that.
chat. Because it's funny, we find ourselves a lot of the time before and after the podcast just chatting, like, and then like there's times before the podcast we're like, oh, we should probably start recording now, like, like we need to stop talking. 'Cause we should be talking about this in the podcast.
Oh, that's a really
So-
interesting point you just made, Joe. Shame we weren't recording this.
Yeah.
But no,
So
yeah.
pretty much, we're just gonna be talking.
Yeah, we should explain
about
that, like,
random
we were
stuff.
meant to record yesterday, but we were all super busy. We meant to record earlier today, but we were all super busy, and it's come to, like,
Yeah.
8 o'clock on a Wednesday, and we're just like, meh.
Meh.
just
Yeah, because
Let's just hang out and chat.
We're technically back to college now.
Don't break the
which is-
illusion, we're professionals.
Yeah, professionals. Yep. No, we go to we're back at college to teach everyone how to podcast.
That's right.
Show these fuckers
There
how
you
it's
go.
done.
Call us the professors.
Yeah.
Of podcasting.
Professors of podcasting. No, we have been busy. We have been busy with other things. Just like a quick sort of
Yes.
update on the state of Munch Media. We're building a website where we are going to have all of the videos and all of the podcasts we do and all of that kinds of stuff in one neat little place. And we're also going to start like throwing up articles and
Yes.
yeah, like find like kind of just expand what we're doing and make it all funky and pretty and cool and looking good.
Yeah, and we like talking about media-related things, and it's a new way to do it,
The written
which
word.
is always fun. Always fun. Yeah.
I fucking
I mean,
love the written word.
Ralph is not new to it, but I'm pretty sure myself and Aaron are new to the whole
Oh, hell yeah.
online journalism thing. So Ralph is going to be our guide.
Yes, I will write out a handy
Uh,
10 steps like, don't get us sued, you fucking idiots. And
Ralph's 10 steps to online journalistic success.
always
Yeah.
quote your sources.
Yeah, that's going to be the first article, actually.
Just a bunch of quotes.
I hate to break it to you, but the first article is a very serious one about Harvey Weinstein.
Oh god.
Oh, great.
Oh no. That's one way to
Don't
get
worry.
our website clicked off.
Ah,
the
no,
traffic.
it's going to be great. The second one's going to be on the BBC license fee, but don't worry, that's going to be really fun. It's going to
Yeah.
be very fun.
Controversial and boring. What are we, the BBC?
That's
Sorry.
actually that.
God.
I might steal that joke from.
You can't
Yeah.
because I'll sue you because it's copyrighted now. I'm
Oh.
fucking going through the government's website.
Well,
as we speak.
I will delay editing this podcast, and I will put it out a month after I've written the article, and then I will sue you.
It's good. Gosh darn it, Ralph!
Haha.
I've done it again.
This is why
This
you.
is like the
This is
Senate.
why you never tell your editor you're going to sue him because he will edit you into the sued position.
Yeah, no, there's no winning in that position.
There's also literally no winning because we would be people who work for like the same place suing each other.
Yeah.
Just divide the assets
Yeah.
somehow. And I think
Just Joe standing in the middle of a pile of money going.
I was meaning we divide Joe, but I don't think that would work. Money will do.
That's true. Joe is the most valuable asset we have, worth $75 at his current market value.
Apparently,
Oh, God.
Apparently, like the fluid, everything that makes up a human is like you can get for like something ridiculous, like $11. Or maybe it might be slightly higher.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. What do you mean everything that makes up a human?
Like I think fluid-wise.
Ugh, I don't want to buy human fluid.
But if you have the whole thing intact,
No.
it's probably worth a lot more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can
probably.
imagine.
But why would
Go
they-
ask
okay.
the slave trade on the black market.
Ooh.
They can probably tell you prices.
I was meaning dead, but I suppose you could like.
Oh, dead.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ,
yeah,
this
okay. This got dark real
Yeah,
quick.
I mean,
yeah.
But I have to say it's quite fitting that like the three people who live in Edinburgh immediately started talking about like what happens if we just dig up dead bodies and take the fluids out of them. There's a good long
With a
history of
straw.
that in this city.
Yeah, it must be like a built-in curiosity. It runs in the lines.
There's
Anyway,
literally statues in the centre of town made of the people who did that shit. So like,
yeah.
Yummy.
who was it?
Interesting culture.
Birkenhair?
Interesting.
Yeah, it was Birkenhair, wasn't it?
Yeah, the bastards.
The bastards.
They weren't
but
actually
yeah,
technically grave robbers for long. They were murderers.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, they upped their game. Then they became true
Yeah.
criminals.
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
enough of this. Has anybody done anything remotely
Yeah.
media related recently?
Also, one more before we move on. One more bit of news about Munch Media. We're gonna be I'm gonna be starting a Sunday show soon. Now that we're back at college, I have access to some equipment,
Nice.
which will make my life a lot
You
easier.
mean now we're back at our professional place of work, we have access to new equipment?
Yes. So yeah, there's gonna be a new show coming on Sundays shortly. Interview based. I'll leave it at that. So that'll be fun. So keep your eyes out for that. It should be fun. And it's I don't know. I'm the sort of person that's on YouTube on a Sunday, and I'm like, where's all the content? Because like that's sort of the day people usually take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as someone, I don't know, I'm like, I want something really chill on a Sunday, and there normally isn't anything, and I'm kind of sad. So I wouldn't mind filling that gap.
Good,
'cause
good.
I don't spend my Sunday doing anything special.
Who
So, yeah.
does?
Me.
Apparently, a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Sorry.
Because there's not a lot of content out on YouTube on a Sunday, in my opinion. I don't know. Maybe just from the people I watch, but
Yeah, I imagine if we like also followed a lot of YouTubers who say like weren't from Europe, that might change quite drastically.
yeah.
I noticed that like various things that I subscribe to who are like based in Australia like have stuff that comes out on a Sunday, but obviously that's
There's I swear like there's been such a surge of like Australian YouTubers and just like or like New Zealand.
the internet got
YouTubers
okay
as
there
well.
in the last few years. So
Yeah,
people-
but like there are just so many like channels that I watch, like just like the occasional video I click on that's like a little bit clickbaity, and it's like talking about a game or like especially gaming videos. Like there's so many Australian people that do like sort of not informational videos, but like like they talk about a game or like I don't know, just those kind of videos. They talk about
the
so many Australian.
the only two reasons I could think of that off the top of my head are that the Australian government relaxed a lot of the laws around video gaming recently, so like that could be wrapped up in there somehow. And then podcasts like the Weekly Planet, which blew up and are now like, if you look at iTunes, like constantly in their like top 5 most popular film podcasts.
yeah.
And like those guys started a thing called Planet Broadcast, where they basically got like, I think they now have like 20 other Australian podcasts / kind of YouTube channels that all work as a collective. So like they've kind of
Oh, that's cool.
boosted that stuff up a lot.
Yeah. That's cool though. I mean, like,
It's neat.
I think it's cool to see them. Yeah, because like it wasn't. I mean, Australian YouTubers were not popular that many years ago.
No.
Like, they really weren't.
It's because
I think a lot of people really like their accent. That's why like they're so prevalent in that market. And the same with the podcast. It's probably why the
I think it's almost like the same thing as like the Welsh accent, or like if you're like a singer or a comedian, it just fits. Like it just fits.
yeah,
perfectly.
comedian definitely, and yeah, singer as well. But yeah, no, I was gonna say Welsh YouTubers. I don't know. I've not seen many of those.
If you watch Munch Plays the Banner Saga, you might hear me pretending to be a Welsh YouTuber at some point.
Yeah, okay, pretending, but not real. A little plug for Ralph's series
Yes,
there.
I think I'm going to change it.
Go
I've decided its name unofficially is just Ralph's Story Time, because it's just me reading lots of
You're just
text.
telling a story, yeah.
Like when I was editing the last episode, to try and get the mic levels correct without being distracted, I just like shut my eyes to listen and just listen to it, and I was like, fuck, this sounds like I've put on the most amazing radio play ever, except the acting's all terrible. That's a good series. That's a good game. People should watch me play the Banner Saga. It's fun. it's not. It's not fun. It's just about very sad Vikings. So it's actually it's just very sad a lot of the time.
Very sad. So if you're looking for a soothing voice and sad tunes, you should go watch that series, guys.
Bring out the sad Viking in all of us.
Anyway, so what have we been up to? I've been watching All or Nothing, an Amazon series.
Oh. How is it?
And it covers like sporting. It just covers like sport teams. And it's so far it's done NFL, rugby, and football. Is the most recent one. Soccer, football. Real football. We've been over this many times. I say many times, like once. But yeah, it's a really cool documentary series. It's like obviously like high budget for that kind of thing because it's Amazon. And like I don't know, documentaries are known for being a little more low budget. And I'm not saying it's like crazy high budget, but I don't know. They obviously get a lot of access because of their name. Like they get proper like because obviously something that teams want to protect in sport is their like tactics and stuff. And you don't see like in-depth tactics or anything like that, but the fact that they're even allowed like that deep in the changing room, like to see all the team talks and get all that access is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I feel like
it sounds a bit like
they weren't Amazon,
a bit of a rivalry to a show we talked about a few weeks ago called Last Chance U.
Yeah, I don't know how old it is though. I don't know when Last Chance U first came out. I don't know who did it first.
I don't know, like 2015, I want to say.
Yeah, because like obviously this All or Nothing Manchester City is the most recent one. So the main thing is they always focus on a successful team, from what I can tell. Because I've only watched the rugby one, which is on the All Blacks, who are New Zealand. Yeah, everyone knows. Yeah, dominant, like completely. And this one's on Manchester City when they're like I think. At the moment, I think they went on like a 19 win streak in the Premier League, which is which is ridiculous. Like that is so crazy, especially nowadays. And they got so many injuries as well. It's like Amazon predicted that this was going to be a crazy season, and they were like, "Yes, this is it." Or they just filmed every season until one of them was really dramatic, which I doubt.
We've been filming Manchester City for 35 years.
Yeah, no, but genuinely, like, it's funny because like people see these footballers and they're like, "Oh, get up!" Like that doesn't look sore or whatever, and then like, but you like, it doesn't look sore, and most of the time I think it's because they slow-mo replays so much that it doesn't actually look that bad. But when you think of the speed they're actually moving at when they're actually playing the game, and then like these people actually get terrible injuries, like really bad, that takes them out of the sport for like so long, and like they go to like a proper professional doctor and get told like, "Oh, we're gonna have to operate on your leg to make it heal faster and stuff." And it's not like they can just say no, because their club are like, I mean, you're not healing as fast as possible, so like you're not, I don't know, there's like pressure on them, like they don't have an option. Like if I really hurt my leg, it's like, yeah, I could get an operation to make it better faster, but do I really want to go through all that just to make my leg better faster? But obviously if you're like a high skill athlete or sport person or whatever,
there's like an intense pressure on you to get well as soon as possible.
Yeah, and like you have to go through all this like physical rehab and stuff. It's like crazy, and you don't get to play the sport that you love so much. You just have to watch.
Yeah, like the injuries are pretty intense, and like a lot of the time you don't notice it because so much of the time it's just like it's a ligament or it's a muscle or something internal.
Yeah, so it's not like
it's not like you look at a football player and go, "Oh my god, his arm's been ripped off." Like he just looks like he's got a cramp of some sort, and then a week later you're like, "Oh, he's torn every muscle in his body."
Seems it's crazy.
Bad.
It is crazy. I mean, there was that one time. It's bad. I forgot the guy's name, but I think he was Mexican, possibly, and he got like it was like it was like between his ankle, like the part of your foot, like if you bend your foot backwards or not backwards, you can feel like a bit sticking out between your ankle and
sure
where your leg connects. That bit like split, and it was completely like his like foot was like hanging.
That's lovely.
That was just from like a stud going like straight through it. And like high feet And like it's terrible though, because like players go in for these terrible tackles and
That's
don't really think about
fucking
it.
horrific.
Yeah, it's bad stuff. Obviously, it's nowhere near as physical as rugby. Holy shit! But you could also argue that the rugby players are a lot more like ready for like hard hits and stuff. Like they're built for that.
Part of your training is just like having somebody run at you and like smash into you. So
you're built for it. So like it's a bit. I mean, it is the most physical sport. I'm pretty sure.
I think that there's a lot of physical worry and stuff, but the brain. Sorry, you can actually receive some pretty awful brain damage just from like.
Repeated
contact sports.
Yeah, that's one of the big worries with especially American football, and like to a lesser extent rugby, but it still happens. It's just like repeated concussions over and over and over again cause brain damage later in life.
So how is it worse than American football though? Because like, don't their helmets help, or is it just like that much?
I think it's a bit more brutal because they have helmets.
There's like way more. It's way more forceful at points. Like in American football, you can just like lift people up and slam them on the ground.
Yeah. Okay. So there's less like
It's like wrestling, WWE.
Well, no. Would you say that as a fan of Last Chance U, it's worth checking out these old sports documentaries?
If you like high drama, dominant, like watching like a team like proper like dominate and their manager be like really like hardened and like because all the managers in these two series are like known for being like hardened veteran managers that like go to a team and like just spark them up.
Cool.
So in the All Blacks one, like I forgot his name already, to be honest.
Memorable, famous managers.
He's been there for ages. Well, it's just there's so many names in these series.
Sure.
Like it's so hard. I'm bad at keeping track of names from just one hearing. And there's actually so many names that it goes through. In
fairness, we are also people who just aren't interested in sport in general.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I am. Like, I like playing sport and I like watching it. Well, do I like watching it? I don't like just sitting down and watching a full game of sport.
Like, I
can't watch a full game of football. Or maybe I could. It all depends, really. Like, I didn't really watch the World Cup. I watched like 2 games, and that was just kind of like one of the times I went to like the pub with my mates, because it was the all important England Colombia. No, not England Colombia. England Croatia.
Watched that in Croatia.
Yeah, it was the England Croatia game.
Nice.
Did you?
That was fucking mental.
That must have been good, yeah.
People setting off flares, people really backflipping into water, running the tyres out on their cars.
Yeah,
nice.
Screaming.
I mean, like, like a lot of people would blame that on the sport, which I feel like is a bit unfair.
No, it was great. It was great. I loved it. Like, they were so happy.
Yeah, but some people would be like, "Oh, like that's typical football fans."
The English guy wasn't happy. That was.
I can imagine.
But everyone else
English
was
people
great. Nearly got mowed down because like the streets were bare except for like the odd cars that would go past with like flags and people like hanging out them, and that went on for about like 5 hours, and I could hear them when I went to my fucking bed. I'm like, okay, it was fun, but calm down now. I'm trying to sleep. And you've got your fucking your flags and your people hanging out your cars and everything.
You're such an old man.
Yeah.
It was this is at fucking 12 at night.
My point exactly. You're such an old man.
Get out there and party with the Croatians.
Yeah, party with the Croatians, dude.
No,
you only get to party with the Croatians during a World Cup victory once a lifetime.
Yeah,
well, I mean, maybe not once a lifetime. But...
We watched it down by a harbour, and we were having drinks and everything. Like, we were like, yeah, this is great, let's have more drinks and celebrate. And then we went up back to the old villa, and they were still going. We're like, oh, fuck, where the fuck are they getting all these air horns? Like, Jesus Christ.
Air horns.
It's like they run out, like they use one up and then they find another one. It's mental.
No, that's great.
What was it? While I had just gotten back from Croatia, but I had a friend who was still in France, and of course, it was the final, and of course France won. So I was like, oh god damn it! I was in Croatia, he was in France. How like annoying is that? I've just come back. All these people have been like really hopeful, coming up to us and telling us, "Oh, we're going to win. It's going to be great." And then it was a good game.
That is hopeful, man. They should have I don't know. I respect that though. They had faith in their country.
Yeah, even the guy.
But yeah, that's hopeful because France were so dominant that towards the end of that tournament.
Well, they managed to beat England, which was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
crazy
talks about that. Yeah, because I mean, obviously, like England arguably had the easiest run in that tournament in terms of like the games they got put up with. And a lot of people argued, like, oh yeah, I mean, if Belgium went up against England, they would have been out. Like, I mean, I think Belgium did play England once, and England did lose, but they didn't come up against them again until, well, they didn't come up against them again. So yeah, it is kind of argued, but like, it was just so amazing that Croatia did that, because they're a 4 million population country.
Yeah, pretty small.
Compared to
small.
England's 55 million. So like, that is ridiculous that you managed to pull out a team that can.
I mean, if that's ridiculous, like look at Iceland, you know.
Oh yeah, no, that was also ridiculous.
That's real crazy.
Yeah. I mean, there was the whole story of them like quitting their day jobs.
Yeah, I mean,
they were like butchers.
Yeah. I mean, like they were like butchers and bankers, because we're just like, well, like we've such a small country, we never play anyone at football, so like we all just have other stuff we do.
Yeah.
But, like I kind of respect that a lot, and like I imagine like if between then and the World Cup, if people went into that guy's butcher shop, I bet his butcher shop did really fucking well.
Yeah, probably did. They were like, "Oh, you're the guy." It's like, "Yeah, that's me."
I'd hang like flags and have like a couple of posters on the window. Then business would be booming.
Get a selfie with him, like sort of
World
thing. Like
Cup
I bet that's
like
the only reason he did it. He was like, "I'm just playing this so I get free like advertisement for my
family
butcher
butchers."
Yeah, it's like a really
teams.
low skill version of seeing like Ronaldo advertising like Nike trainers. It's just it's like
Iceland
it's
butchers.
like come and meet John Borden's butchery shop.
All or Nothing. You should if you liked Last Chance you should watch the first All or Nothing, I think, which was, I don't even know what NFL team it was on. I need to watch it still, and I'm excited to after I finish the Manchester City one, which literally released like
It was like a few weeks ago that started. wasn't it?
5 days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it released 5 days ago, which is pretty cool. They all came out. There's 8 episodes. In the All Blacks one, there's 6.
Yeah, I think I'll watch the All Blacks one because that's a team that I like have known my entire life, and
yes,
like I think that's like a good comparison for me compared to the NFL stuff. I've been not the NFL, but the American college football league.
It's a change, but not too drastic. Yeah,
and,
I get it.
And in 5 years' time, I will keep jumping from sports series until I watch the amazing future Netflix documentary about ping pong.
I thought you were going to say something
get
like
there.
the world ending.
No, I was trying to think of the funniest sport possible, and all I could think of was ping pong.
I like ping pong.
Crazy golf. Oh,
I
man.
would watch a 12
Professional
parts.
crazy golf.
curling, because they do the wee
fuck.
shuffle and it's
There's lots of this is just a total side note, but loads of Olympics team came from my area because we had like an incredibly good ice rink that everyone used to train in for curling. So like every Olympics, you look at like
I mean, to be
Scottish
fair, like
teams or British
Scotland
teams
don't do too bad in the Olympics and stuff. We've had some pretty good people over the years.
cycling, curling,
swimming.
swimming.
We've always had pretty good swimming people. Like, I mean, not like always gold and stuff, but up there.
they exist in the competition.
For a 5 million population country, we're not half bad.
Is this becoming our new Munch Media's measurement of sport?
Well, I mean, that is the measurement of sport
versus...
there. That's not just our measurement. Like, that is like I mean, it makes sense. They do it with gaming as well. Like, that's why the US got slammed for so many years, because they have such a big pool of people that like should have been. They took so long to catch up in the gaming scene. Like they have very good teams now in most of the sports and stuff. They still got slammed because it's funny. But there used to be slang like NA, like for in CS:GO for example, like a flashbang, it'd be like NA flash if it was a bad flash, and people would just type NA flash, like North America.
Okay.
It was kind of like a meme. But yeah, they ended up getting.
That's kind of one thing I actually really like about a lot of esports is that it's like quite often not really divided by nationality. It's just like your team, and because everyone plays online in these games, your teams are made up from people from like 9 different countries, and it feels kind of sweet and nice, and like obviously
sort of not really. In
like
CS it's more country based.
Yeah,
it is more
that's
country
'cause
based.
CS:GO is about murder and violence.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not just
And,
the CS:GO
and
actually.
sweet
Like
gun skins.
League of Legends is kind of weird because a lot of it's funny. America just stole a lot of Korean and European players.
That
Okay,
makes
sure.
sense.
like
Statistically better players.
if you looked at it was like if you looked at some of the top teams of America, especially at least when I used to watch, I'm pretty sure it still is like this. It would just be like a full team of Koreans, but they were like under an American label, and like some of them would be American Korean, but like some of them were just straight up like we just got this guy in from Korea, and it's like really. Like really?
Well, they want to win, I suppose.
I know,
They
I
don't
know,
wanna
but it's
lose.
like, is this an American team anymore, or
No.
they just
It doesn't
Korean
matter
team
if it's
dressed
an
as an
American team or not. Who cares? It's a team that you like. So
Yeah,
that's one thing that always made me laugh a little bit about. I always thought was not laugh, but like found kind of chucklesome was the Ukrainian team for Dota. It was made up of 4 Ukrainian guys and then some guy from like Texas. Which
They
is
have
really
like
great.
a Texas 10-gallon hat on. It's like had like the
No,
spurs and
he
everything.
was just some like really sweet guy who like he like didn't have any money and like he didn't even have like a proper keyboard and mouse. It's in the documentary Free to Play that Valve made.
yeah. Free to play is really good.
Free to Play is a really fucking good documentary, but
I actually watched that with my mom, and I'm not even joking.
as
Like
an
genuinely.
introduction to the crazy world of online gaming.
Yeah, I can't even remember how it came about. I was like, Mom, do you want to watch this like documentary thing? And she's like, yeah. Just watch Free to Play. She found it really interesting. I was like, sick.
It's really well
It's pretty
made.
good common interest.
It's-
It
yeah.
is. Yeah.
I really-
it is.
I really-
Valve should do more stuff.
Valve should do more stuff. Well, I'm a bit like iffy about Valve because it feels a bit weird when it's like the company who make the video game and hold the competitions then make the documentary that gets you really interested in the things.
Yeah, but it wasn't like I don't know. It wasn't that promotional.
I don't know.
It was more just
the
like
version I watched kept bringing up Dota 2 and they kept showing images of the game and it.
Oh, it was a game about Dota. It was a documentary about Dota 2.
I don't know, Joe. It really felt like
They're not allowed to show
really
any
intense
gameplay.
product placement, if you ask me.
Yeah,
I want to watch a documentary about professional esports
Yeah.
players, not a giant advert for Dota 2.
Yeah, All or Nothing. Yeah, it's a show about a football team, but there's no football in it. It's rugby. They show rugby.
They show
instead.
rugby instead.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd love to talk to Ralph about a little film I saw recently that he lent me. If possible.
Oh no, this is going to be grim. I know it's coming up. This is a grim subject
Get
matter.
ready for Yield Dead Dogs, because we're talking about a film called Tyrannosaur, where a dog dies within the first minute.
Yes,
Yeah.
a film I put, dear listener, if you put your head back, I recommended this on our top 10 film podcast, where I put it as my number 7.
Why do you think you like it so much? I mean, I get it. Like, genuinely, it's an astounding movie. Not just because of how dark it is and how like.
Well, no,
unafraid it
it's because like it tackles. It's a film about like domestic violence, alcohol abuse, like just pure rage and anger. But it does it. But it's also a film about people like reconciling with these things or dealing with these things, and I admire it greatly because to me it's like the perfect example of what an indie film can do. Like a very small film. It's a testament to what you can achieve with just a rock solid script, a couple of great actors. Like it's such a stripped down film. There's like maybe 3 characters in the whole thing, but it's one of the most intense and like profoundly moving films that you will ever see. Like it just leaves you shaken.
Do you think that's a subsequent? Well, that's because there's only. What, 3 characters you said? Two main ones, really.
Yeah, 2 main ones, and then Eddie Marsden playing the husband of Olivia Colman, who is the charity shop worker in the film. You should give a little summary of what the film's about, because I've just started saying names and random titles that make no sense.
Yeah, so how best to describe it? It's a very happy film about a man.
That's not true.
Okay, so it's basically after, I wouldn't say the aftermath of this guy's wife dying. She's been dead for a couple of years.
Yeah.
However, it's just his day-to-day struggles and it all changes when he decides to pop into a charity shop. He's actually hiding from people. I think he's just battered a bunch of like teens, or at least threatened them, because they were being loud in this pub, and that's like the main turning point of the film. He bumps into like the second main character, Olivia Colman, and she's like this devout, lovely Christian lady who works in a charity shop, and but later on down the line, she her own struggles are kind of revealed, but it mainly focuses on the main character and his struggles and how he interacts with Olivia Colman's character, and also whilst revealing like how horrible her life's been.
Are they realistic struggles?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
very
Yes.
realistic.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
And
kind of
it's-
that's what makes it so fucking horrible to watch, is because
Grueling.
you just
Yeah.
you are fully aware the entire time that like the terrible things these people go through, which is like domestic abuse and domestic violence and like alcoholism, is the things they show of that are very real and very uncomfortable.
Yeah. Which is very, oh man, like, I put myself in these boots like a lot more recently than I did, a couple of years ago. Like, I feel so sheltered, like, compared to so many people.
Like it's only in recent years I've just realised how genuinely, extremely lucky, like people like us three are. The fact we don't need to worry about, I don't know, just when our next
survival,
reel will be
even
survival.
like, it's. I know this isn't like completely related to the movie, but like that whole survival thing. Like we were having a chat today, me and a group of people, about Colombia, and like how, like there, like you genuinely could get shot, like just all the time. Like, and it's just drugs everywhere, and like everything's just fucked.
They've
Like,
become completely desensitized to killing. Like, it's insane.
There's a book. I finally get to talk about a book on the podcast.
Oh, damn it, Ralph. We hate publishing. We don't read.
How dare you?
Unless
Books are
it's fan
fantastic.
fictions off the internet. Yeah.
How dare you? My fan fiction's incredible. No, it's a book called Vincent Who Killed His Mother, His Father, and His Sister.
Very specific.
It's very specific. It's by a I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but it's a Mexican investigative reporter, and it is a look at the case of this teenage boy called Vincent who killed his entire family. And kind of the book is about those events, but it interweaves it with the history of drug cartels and police corruption in his area. And the book argues that the more corrupt, more violent that neighborhood became, the more he felt it was completely acceptable for him to murder his family, because he just, during his entire life, was just watching abhorrent violence happen everywhere around him, and so he felt like there was zero consequence or even like a moral dilemma involved in performing so. It's fucking terrible. Like just as talking about how lucky we are, like there's a part in the book where they go into a case of police corruption, which is one of the most frightening things I've ever heard, where police who were paid off by drug cartels to perform assassinations for them, which is already like a
That's
fucking
fucking hell.
that's already a bad situation. But when the police officers would kill these people, they would then take their bodies and bury them in houses, or either underneath or in the gardens of houses they knew were vacant, and then they would use those as like an ace up the sleeve later on when, say, a year later, people start asking questions about the police not cashing.
You've spoke about this before.
I've spoken to you off of the
where you
podcast about it, but yeah, like a year later, if protesters or journalists were saying, "Hey, why aren't the police solving these murders? We need to do this. This is destroying our society," the police would then go to these houses where they knew the bodies were buried and just arrest who had ever moved in and say, "This person killed them. We found all the bodies in their garden." So yes, we are exceptionally lucky to like live in Scotland and not have to think about anything like that, because fuck me.
For sure.
That's
Lads, we're lucky that there aren't T-Rexes running about the streets trying to eat
I
us.
don't know. I'd kind of be alright if some T-Rexes running around the streets trying to eat
I
us.
don't know. Well, you say that, but you wouldn't.
The current theory in good old dinosaur science. I know there's a name for it, but I'm going to say
Dinosaur
dinosaur science. Is it paleontology?
Yeah.
Whatever, dinosaur science.
Nah,
Dinosaur
it's not
science. Oh yeah, something totally different. Whatever, dinosaur science. Is that T-Rexes were actually like really shy, terrible hunters,
Yeah, that's weird.
and they were more like scavengers.
Yeah,
and
just eat carcasses and shit.
Yeah, they were just like scavenge from stuff.
little nibble.
But like they look really scary, so we've made them into big carnivorous monsters.
Hey, it settles. Am I right?
Yeah.
Appearance doesn't tell all. Appearance doesn't tell
Exactly. The next time I see a giant lizard with tiny arms, I'm not going to assume he's a monster.
Yeah, like a big alien, like crazy predator looking thing, like invades Earth, and it's just here to like say hi,
Yeah.
and we all just
I'm
like
just
shoot RPGs at
I'm
it.
just gonna lean over and say, "What's your opinion on the?"
The Trump administration.
Yeah, but that's my go-to card. Yeah, hello, giant alien. What do you think about the Trump administration? And if it just kind of like lowers its head in sadness, I'm like, oh, "You're all right. Come on in."
We said we were gonna avoid politics. Anyway,
Hey, we
it's fine.
integrated it with aliens. People
We did,
can't
we did.
complain.
That's okay. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Interestingly, Aliens is actually a film about. No, I'm not going to do that.
No.
It has
No, don't
some
do it.
interesting things to say about corporations, but we don't have to get into that.
Some music stuff real quick, not K-pop crazy. I know. Calm down, everyone. It's I've been listening to some grime recently. London grime.
Nice.
Yeah, because obviously all this like rap stuff I've been doing, it's obviously like seeped in
It's open for
a little
door
bit
for
because
you.
because London has a big scene, like a big scene right now.
Makes sense.
A lot of people, yeah. And I was watching this thing. It's a really cool series which no longer runs, called Daily Dappy or Daily Duppy. Oh, I've just made so many people upset. Daily Duppy.
That sounds like a little sweet program about like plastic ducks or something.
Yeah, I don't really get the name. It probably has a meaning, but
Slang.
yeah, it's on this
You'd
channel.
understand it if you were really into your grime, Joe.
I would.
sound-
I mean, I'm new to
Right
it.
now,
I'm
you
not
sound
denying
like a
it.
poser.
You sound like
A
a
poser.
white duppy.
Well, anyway, this series is like, yeah, it's just some dudes on the mic in a room, and like it's nicely lit scene. The camera gets like nice and shaky, but in like a controlled way. If that makes sense. Like I don't know. Like you
Oh
can
no,
tell
I
that
know exactly. I know what
it's
you're talking about.
smooth.
The hip hop music video shake. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's done really well, and they integrate because it's it's focused on like lyrical stuff. This kind of show they do a lot of motion graphics on like the really important, well, not important, but like the effective lines and stuff like that, and like do we animations to go along with it.
Okay,
so,
sure.
like, I don't
So
know.
it like punctuates.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
cool.
it's done very well. As someone who likes motion graphics, it is very pleasing to watch. So it's like it helped me enjoy the grime, because not that I dislike grime, not even close, because it's getting me into it, if that makes sense, because it's something I already like, done really well, which is like merging with something that I could potentially like, and is sort of easing me into it. I quite like the idea of that. I think like if you're a company trying to sort of get a new audience in, I think that would be a good technique. Like get something that's already popular, do it well, and like merge it with your thing, which it has to work. Obviously, you can't just like, I don't know. So you, I don't know, something extreme like you're branding My Little Pony and you mix in like Transformers. That's obviously not going to work. But you know what I mean.
People probably watch that. There's a market.
Yeah, I mean, true. You'll get some marketing out of that.
I kind of don't know what you mean. Could you
Okay,
run me
I'll
through
try
that
and
again?
okay. So they're a grime channel, and they've mixed in really nice motion graphics to like add to it, which is pleasing to a lot of people's eyes.
Is it almost almost like a showcase type thing then, where like if they're using the motion graphics to like punctuate the rhymes that people are putting out, is that like a way for you to understand what moments in their like flow are important?
It emphasizes
sure.
like the important parts. It's just something I like watching. I like watching motion graphics, so I can watch the video just for the motion graphics. But since I'm watching for the motion graphics, I'm also appreciating the grime.
Right. Okay.
And then
I was about to say, are
seeing
you
the
sure you're not
important
just
parts.
really into grime because it has nice motion graphics?
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm saying using like that's what I think companies could do. Like they could take something that they know is already popular, do it well, like learn how to do it properly, and integrate it with what they already have to bring in new audience.
Okay, so you're kind of asking for, like, if you're filming something, to use production techniques which are catchy and work and kind of draw people in, and then use that to showcase. Because like, I don't know, motion graphics I've not really seen in this kind of video for a grime, because it's like it's just a guy in front of a mic, and it's a very simple video. But normally, like, people just genuinely just have a camera aiming at the guy rapping into the mic, which is cool enough. But this adds like another dimension to the video, I guess. Sure. It's if you want to watch a real good documentary on hip hop, I really recommend The Defiant Ones.
The Defiant Ones.
Yeah, it came out on it was HBO earlier this year, and then Netflix picked it up to show in the UK. And it follows Dr. Dre and another guy. See, this is the issue of doing a podcast offhand when, like, we're tired and I've been drinking, as I've just forgotten everyone's names. But,
You've turned into Joe.
I've turned into Joe.
Yeah, the way you feel right now, not remembering names, that's what Joe feels like all the time.
My brain's just filled with K-pop idols I love dearly.
Yeah, no, okay, names I can remember. Korean pop idol
Korean
names.
K-pop idols names.
At least I can remember, like, and that's weird because it's, they're foreign names, but I can remember them easier than English names.
I mean, like, Korean K-pop idols either have, like, Korean names, or it's like IZ9 or something like that.
I mean, IZ9's a bit of a push.
I don't know, man. I bet if I typed in IZ9 K-pop, something would come up.
No, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Can you give us an example? Because I'm completely, like, clueless when it comes to
an
K-pop.
example
of K-pop.
Like a big K-pop guy. Something like ye old K-pop.
I'm just going to type the word K-pop into Wikipedia.
Well, a lot of them use, like, like, there's a guy called RM. Well, they call him RM for short, or Rap Monster. Which is like cheesy.
Monster.
See, if he's called RM, how's that different from, like, ZK9?
Yeah, it's
because that sounds like a robot.
RM. So does RM.
No, it doesn't. That's just initials.
RM sounds like something I'd find in my computer.
Adding a 9 onto it makes it sound like it's some sort of model of robot or something. RM is just initials. What? JE for Joe Eaton. Is that some sort of, like, weird thing?
All right. Well, I've just found a Rolling Stone article on 10 K-pop artists to watch in 2018, and the second name is just Day 6.
Day 6.
It's a band. That's a band name.
Day 6.
NCT.
That's also a group name.
NCT.
That's not like a single person.
This one's just called Samuel.
Well, yeah, that's his name. And he's a solo artist.
This is NCT. This is 9. This is Day 6. This is
Wait, hold on, guys. No. This guy's called Justin.
Justin.
He's American. And he's called Justin.
That's not a good. Oh my god, that's not a good K-pop artist name.
What does BTS stand for? Sorry.
BTS.
So they've messed around with it a bit, but it was originally Bangtan Soyeondan, which is like
not like British Telecom service.
I can't remember exactly what it translates to. It's yeah,
something along those lines.
I can't remember. Yeah, sure, British Telecom Service.
Marvelous.
Music's good. I like it.
Nice.
I like it a lot. Music gets me through all my traveling, and the occasional podcast. Mostly music.
Nice.
Mostly music.
Music's great.
Yeah.
Like I never
get good headphones. Actually, sorry.
Yes, number one tip to everyone in the world: get good headphones.
Because I just like
you hate the
it
bad
really
ones.
annoys me when like I send someone a song and they refuse to listen to it on like a good set of headphones or speakers or something.
Some people just aren't fussy. It's kind of like video.
Yeah, but I feel like they're not. I feel bad for them almost because like they're missing out.
Yeah,
they're missing out. You can tell when like audio quality is really good though, like professional songs.
Yeah,
it does make it better. But I'm one of those people who are not that super fussy. If there's a lot of crackling and shit in the background.
Oh. Yeah. No shit, Aaron. We already know you're not that fussy about audio, given the number of
Sorry, I was just testing the quality of my.
I'm gonna love slapping a compressor on that bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully, with me trying the Rode, it wouldn't be too bad. Hopefully.
Right, yeah, of
Hopefully,
course.
yeah, Aaron's trying a new mic today, guys.
Yes.
Whether we know if it'll make a difference or not, who knows?
Cost more
That
than a
didn't
Blue
make much
Yeti,
sense,
so
but-
it better bloody make a difference.
Yeah, but it's like it's for different reasons, right?
Yeah,
the
but
Rode's like out and about, attaches to your camera.
yeah.
Does a bunch of other stuff. Blue Yeti's for podcasts.
Yeah.
No, it's not
But
just for
It's
podcasts.
for streaming.
But
Big
yeah, it's for sitting in your house. But I mean, they're doing us a world of good. And like I always say, I've had this mic for 5 years, and it's never let me down. So
Lovely.
pretty good stuff. Recommend if you want a good mic.
Oh, I mean,
we're
they are
not sponsored.
a little bit expensive, but I mean,
Yeah, but if you want a good mic, like it's cheap. Like if you're going for like a high end
Yeah,
mic
in terms of like
for speech,
bang for buck, it's pretty good just for
Yeah.
like audio recordings.
I would not recommend it for like music stuff.
No.
You could get away with it for like song covers. I think a lot of people use it for song covers, but like you shouldn't.
Yeah.
If you're doing speech like us though, and you want to do radio sort of stuff,
Yeah, just like a little voiceover. Something
it's
something
definitely
nice to
good
get
for
you
that.
through your... Hey, how you doing? Are you driving along a lonely road listening to the podcast? Well, then buy a Blue Yeti. It'll make your voice sound real nice.
real smooth.
Real smooth.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, are we done?
Yeah, fuck
Is
it.
there much else to?
We're hitting an hour. It's getting quite late. My beer's almost finished, and we've run out of anything
The
interesting
beer
to
is-
say.
Your beer is our time. It's like the sand timer thing.
I've managed to perfectly
running out.
time drinking my beer to an episode of Mad Men. So-
what? How does that work?
I figured out that I can start a beer, start watching an episode of Mad Men, and then when I finish my beer, it coincides with the credits, so I can have another beer and watch another episode. Done.
So-
They should.
So
There should
think
be a
about it
challenge.
slowly. Like,
There should be a challenge every time they drink in Mad Men. You have to drink.
No,
People have. I mean, there is a Mad Men drinking game where you do that, but then people worked out that they drink on average. It's 267 times an episode.
Oh, that's insane.
In the
what?
space-
A
yeah,
single episode?
On average, and that's over the course of 45 minutes.
Ah,
People
it's insane.
fucking drink in Mad Men.
What about sex? That must be worse.
I think that's only like once every 3 episodes.
Are you sure? Like, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, there's something I actually love about Mad Men is even though it is a show that does get into people's sexual habits, especially Don Draper's, it's a show and it does feature a lot of sex scenes or sort of nude people, but it's never gratuitous. It always just it's very tasteful. You know what I mean? Like there's never like you never see a nip, a bum,
yeah.
a willy.
bum bum.
It's always like
Why-
close-ups of them in bed going.
I mean, it's close-ups.
We don't need to go into
It's
detail.
close-ups of them doing that, or it's just like a shot of Don Draper's face as he questions his existential purpose in life and slowly
Oh
feels
yeah,
depressed.
while getting his sausage sucked.
Oh my god, Aaron.
Oh come on,
Aaron, you know how to use the worst lines ever.
Thank you. I've perfected it over the years, but
It's a talent. Oh dear. Yeah. If that hasn't made you want to watch Mad Men, I don't know what will.
just wondering about your existence whilst having enduring a
I mean, in fairness, that show is pretty. That's kind of a good way of describing Mad Men. Like when
Yeah.
you really think about it, that's
Don
kind
Draper
of
getting his sausage.
that's kind of a good description. It's just people
Yeah,
having.
I mean it fits.
Yeah,
It fits. It's a bit of a weird way of talking about it, but
yeah. It's just
true,
a show of people having sex to feel alive in a world devoid of meaning.
Oh, it's not that
hey, real
glum.
life, let's go.
Man,
yeah,
I mean, you should
um,
finish Mad Men. It's pretty glum.
Oh, great. Oh, you
Yeah.
don't need to spoil. What was that?
You don't need to spoil
like-
it.
Nah.
No, I'm not spoiling nothing.
It's like-
You're in season 6, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I
It
guess
just-
season. Sorry, I'm stuttering. Season 7's great. It's basically like an updated version of like the Iliad or something, where it's just a road trip across America. It's kind of amazing.
Oh, interesting.
Mm.
It is. I'm wondering the direction it's going to go in because it seems to like like it's taken quite a few turns, and like I'm kind of dreading an episode called Waterloo. I've been told that's quite.
Waterloo.
Oh, you ruined it, Joe.
That's all I ever like when I hear Waterloo. Like that's just it's in my head. I can't hold back.
I'm glad you did that because I was desperately trying to think of a joke about Napoleon and I couldn't work it.
My mind went straight to Napoleon as well. Not
Wait,
the
where's that Waterloo song from? Sorry,
it's
Mamma Mia?
It's ABBA. Yeah, it's ABBA.
Is it Mamma Mia? Yeah, okay. So I know it from the Mamma Mia movie ages ago, and apparently the second one is shite. So surprise, a sequel to a movie like that.
Fuck Mamma Mia. Like, fucking. Like,
Mamma Mia.
The songs are good, but the movie's so bland and boring.
Well, yeah, of course.
I could make a wedding video more fucking entertaining.
It's because ABBA was so mass market that it was like anything that mass market is generic. It's just how it is, because like you can't be that mass market without being generic because you've got such a big audience.
Sir, I present to you the Beatles. Come at me with your argument again. I've thrown down the mass market gauntlet.
But that was generic at the time, wasn't
So
it?
a film called Yellow Submarine.
At the time, though, everyone was in a band with that kind of hair and guitars
Copy.
and drums. Well, I'm not saying they're a copy. I just mean like that was the style at the time.
I don't know.
You know?
They got like, I mean, in fairness, like stuff was psychedelic, but like they got pretty like far out there with their stuff. Like
yeah, okay,
like,
maybe
you listen to
music.
You listen to like
okay,
the White Album, and like that is not a pop album.
Yeah, okay, their music, yeah. But I mean, like even just their style, like the way they look, the way they dress, like just the whole band mentality.
Yeah,
back in the 70s.
fair enough. I mean, like that's one thing that I actually I've kind of got into pop music and stuff this year, and it's one thing I really dig is that like all of that kind of uniform style has like disappeared, and it's way more like loads of like art pop is super popular now, and like people are really influenced by like Bjork and Lady Gaga, and people are like doing some pretty like wild shit in terms of presentation. I think
I mean I like a lot of because I don't just like pop in Korea. I like all the genres like K-hip hop and stuff, but it's all comes under K-pop. But I do like a lot of Korean pop. I think the reason I can't get into like our pop is mainly because it's something about American accents singing. I mean I don't know, American accents for me in a lot of things just don't really work to my ears. Especially when singing though. So when I hear like a female like American singer, they all don't sound the same to me, but it's like
Dolly Parton.
I just don't really like the like when they, for example, like you know Ariana Grande and like what song was it again? No Tears Left to Cry. Mm-hmm. She's very like, and I'm like hell no. When she starts like wobbling her voice like that,
yeah, American pop stars love the wobble.
I know, and I can't stand the wobble.
In that case,
I like a clean,
sir,
line.
Sir,
yeah.
I present to you Kali Uchis. There, sir, I've thrown down the popular gauntlet. Listen to Kali Uchis and tell me, does she present to you the American wobble? No, she does not, sir.
How do I spell it?
Like KALIUCHIS.
I'm so out of touch with modern music. It's unbelievable.
And listen to the album Isolation, which came out earlier this year and is damn good.
Oh, this video is sick.
Are you watching Kali Uchis videos?
Yeah, it's got really cool animation. That's something I always struggle as.
Oh no! When I say listen to the album, I mean listen to her album because it flows in a super interesting way, where like instruments that are in the background in the first song slowly move to the forefront by like the fourth or fifth song, and they like take it's almost like the instrumentation is slowly rotating
but
for the entire album.
I like music videos.
I know, but you should listen to the whole album because it flows together really well, and it's been like painstakingly crafted to flow together really well, and it's super cool.
She's doing edgy good though.
It's so
because it's definitely edgy.
Anyway,
you can do it. You can
stop watching the music videos and listen to the album. It's one of the best albums of the year. It's really cool.
I'm watching an edgy woman, and we're gonna finish the podcast.
It's been over an hour. We've been Munch Media.
I know. I can't believe it's been over now.
We be watching their music videos with the wobbly voices.
No, without the wobbly voice. There's a man's face in the ground, and it's covered in grass.
Oh, are you watching? Is this one with Tyler the Creator? And
Oh, it's Tyler the Creator in the ground, covered in grass.
Yes. Oh, that's a great song. The funk in
the video is so cool.
that is real. What's the name of it again?
After the Storm.
Yes, check out
Kali Uchis.
Yeah, check out Kali Uchis
Tyler
After the Storm. That song's got a real good funk to it. It's real.
Good music video as well.
Yeah, it's got a real funkadelic vibe to it, and I dig it.
Funkadelic.
Plus, I'm always down for Tyler the Creator. That dude's. Oh, I fucking love Tyler.
He's alive on camera, which a lot of people for some reason struggle to do.
Yeah, there's lots of weird conspiracies about Tyler the Creator being dead or a monster or some weird shit. There's a lot of weird conspiracy theories around that guy.
That's the opposite of being like alive on camera. Anyway, that's been us, Munch Media, fun chat, sort of, much more relaxed. Lots of clicking from me. I'm sure you'll notice. Bit of fun. Arran was testing a new mic. We talked about many a things today, which was kind of fun. We'll see you all next week, everyone. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
I sounded like, what's her name? Fucking Nanny
Mary Poppins. Nanny McPhee, Mary Poppins.